Right now, we will just recall what we have finished. Okay, so actually what we are doing this, we have to again recall. Actually we are trying to come to the conclusion of Bohr's model, because previous to this model, Bohr's model, Rutherford model was accepted, and that model was based on wave nature of radiations. Now from wave nature of radiations we moved ahead to particle nature, and after studying the concepts which we have been studying from last 2-3 days, that the radiations which are emitted, they have both type of nature, particle as well as wave. Some properties explained on the basis of wave nature, some properties explained on the basis of particle nature. Okay, then for understanding that we have studied several concepts. Then we studied about black body radiation, photoelectric effect, that these are the phenomena which can be explained only on the basis of your particle nature, not on wave nature. Then we came to the spectrum. We studied spectrum, that how different type of spectrums are formed. Continuous spectrum for the natural light, then after that line spectrum or atomic spectrum for particular atoms, and absorption spectrum, which is formed after absorption of light by a sample. Whatever left is there, that forms the absorption spectra. So this we have finished. Now after studying this, because we are studying about atomic spectra, so now we have to start with atomic spectra of hydrogen. Okay, so today we will start with atomic spectra of hydrogen atom, because now we know how atomic spectra is formed. We have studied that if suppose we are studying atomic spectra of sodium, then we will have two lines in that spectra that will be of yellow color. Okay, similarly hydrogen atom is made up of only one electron. We know that hydrogen atom has only one electron, but you will be wondered to see that how many lines or how many spectral lines are observed in the spectra of hydrogen. Okay, so today we will study hydrogen spectrum. Now hydrogen spectrum, how it is formed: when a source of light, maybe natural light or maybe artificial light, is allowed to fall on a sample which is having hydrogen molecules. When light falls on it, the molecules dissociate to form hydrogen atoms, and those individual atoms then give the spectra. And when that spectra, how that spectra is formed? When it is allowed to pass through prism, then we obtain a spectrum on a photographic plate. Now how that spectra looks like? This is the spectra of hydrogen atom. Okay, now this spectrum of hydrogen atom, how it looks, now we have to look to this. Okay, the process I have explained you. When this spectrum which is formed for hydrogen, it was analyzed, it was observed. Now we are talking about which spectra? Atomic spectra. And atomic spectra, how it is formed? Again we have to recall. When this sample of hydrogen will absorb energy, then after absorbing, the hydrogen atoms will release energy. And when they will release the energy, that energy we have to transmit. That means it is emission type of spectra, not absorption. Absorption spectra is formed when this hydrogen sample is absorbing light and that remaining light is allowed to fall on prism. That spectrum will be absorption spectra. Okay, so we are not studying absorption spectra. We every time when we study atomic spectra, that means we are studying the emission spectra. When after absorbing energy, when electrons emit the energy back, that time the spectrum which is formed is atomic spectra, or also known as line spectra, which we have studied. Okay, now when this spectra was observed. Now we will come how it appeared on the photographic plate. It is visible till here to everyone? Okay, now I think it will be visible. Now, this is n equal to 1. That means this is the first orbit after the nucleus. For hydrogen atom, this is n equal to 2. Second orbit after the nucleus, n equal to 3, n equal to 4, n equal to 5, 6, 7 and 8. More we are not going to make for hydrogen, because I told that every atom has a definite sphere till where it can experience its attraction, electronic attraction. So it is okay for it, this much. Okay. Now what will happen? This is actually energy. On this side we are just showing the increasing energy. The n is equal to 1, that means the shell or the orbit which is nearest to the nucleus has the lowest energy, and then away from it the energy is more. This we will talk later why it is so. Okay, and this side we are going to make spectral lines which are observed in hydrogen atom. Now what happened when hydrogen atom absorbed energy? Then it went to higher energy levels. Now it may go to energy level 2. Initially the electron is always present in n is equal to 1, because hydrogen has only 1 electron, and this we are specifically talking about hydrogen. Okay, so don't compare it with other, because the spectrum which was made was only for hydrogen, and Bohr's model was also only for hydrogen and for hydrogen like species. It was not applicable to all atoms. Okay, so suppose the electron was initially here, it jumped to 2, it may jump to 3, it may jump to 4, it may jump to 5, till max 8 we have made. Okay, once it has, okay, so when it tries to return back, now it may happen that if the electron is in n is equal to 2, after absorbing energy, when it will return back, it will come to n is equal to 1. Okay, then an electron which has jumped to 3 will also return to n is equal to 1. From 4 also it can return to n is equal to 1. From 5 also it can return to n is equal to 1. Okay, from 6 also n is equal to 1, and from 8. Okay, that means from various higher levels, on depending on the amount of energy which the electron has absorbed, it may return from the highest 8 level to 1, from 7 to 1, 6 to 1, 5 to 1, 4 to 1, 3 to 1 or 2 to 1. Then this one spectral series was observed, and this series is named as Lyman series. Then is the name visible here, or I should write somewhere upside? This series. Okay, so this is Lyman series. Okay, so Lyman series is formed when the hydrogen atom, after absorbing energy, moves to higher levels, and from those various higher levels it returns to n is equal to 1. But this Lyman series is not visible to us, because this falls in UV region. This falls in ultraviolet region. So ultraviolet region we cannot see. So these series are formed, but they fall in UV region. The name is Lyman series because scientist who observed this series for the first time was Lyman. This is one series. It is not necessary that hydrogen atom which has absorbed energy will finally return to its original n is equal to 1. It may also return to n is equal to 2, and after that it doesn't return here. Okay. So it may happen that electron has absorbed energy to the highest level, and from there, from 3 it is returning to 1, from 2, from 4 returning to 2, from 5 returning to 2, from 6 it is returning to 2, from 7 and from 8. This form another group of spectral lines. This was observed by another scientist, Balmer. So this series is known as Balmer series, and this series falls in visible region. So we are able to see this series because this is falling in visible region. So if hydrogen spectrum is studied by us on the photographic plate or the screen, which series we will be able to see? Only Balmer series. These series exist but not visible to us. Okay. So second series, when hydrogen atom after absorbing energy to various levels will return back to n is equal to 2, not to n is equal to 1. Later it may return to n is equal to 1, but it will not return to, directly it is not returning to n is equal to 1. Okay, so till it is from higher levels to n is equal to 2, a spectral line is observed which is known as Balmer series. Similarly, when electrons after absorbing energy return to n is equal to 3 from higher levels, so from 4 to 3, from 5 to 3, from 6 to 3, from 7 to 3, and from 8 to 3. This series is known as Paschen series. Again, these all series are named according to the scientist's name. So this third series, when the electron is returning to n is equal to 3, is known as Paschen series. Then when the electron after absorbing energy is returning to n is equal to 4 from various levels, from 5 to 4, from 6 to 4, from 7 to 4, and from 8 to 4. Then this forms another series, Brackett series. The name of this series was Brackett series. Okay, when electron returns to n is equal to 4 after absorbing energy. And the last series, when electron returns to n is equal to 5 from higher levels. So from 6 to 5, from 7 to 5, and from 8 to 5. This series is known as Pfund series. P is silent. This series is Pfund series. Okay. Now these remaining three, which I had not written, this one is Balmer series falling in visible region. This one is Lyman series falling in UV region, and these three series fall in infrared region. Okay, so again these three are not visible. Again this one Lyman is not visible. The only visible series is this one, which falls in visible region. Electron when returns to n is equal to 2. This was the whole spectrum of hydrogen atom which was observed when various scientists studied it, because various scientists, why? Lyman, Balmer, Paschen, Brackett and Pfund series. So all of them separately, one of them observed this series, one observed this series, and other observed this, like that they all compiled it and then they observed it completely. Okay, so this is complete hydrogen spectrum. Now there may be a question, and if it is not there, there should be a question, that why hydrogen is having only one electron in its orbit, then how many spectral lines we are observing just for one electron? So the reason is this, that never one electron is forming a spectrum. Why? Because we used a sample of hydrogen molecules. Sample means we cannot isolate one atom. They are present together in bulk. When they are present, suppose it is 1 mole, then also 1 mole is having Avogadro number of atoms of hydrogen. So there's that many are present, and they are absorbing light and excited to various energy levels. Some of the electron from this sample will be excited to n is equal to 2, some to 3, some to 4, some to 5, like this. So we are observing a sample of hydrogen atoms, not a single electron of hydrogen, to get this spectrum. Okay, so this spectrum is actually for a bulk of hydrogen atoms, so various electrons absorbing various amount of energy and returning back to various levels. Okay, that is why it is like this. Clear? So this is about the hydrogen spectrum. Clear? Now we'll talk about this series, Balmer series. Now scientist Balmer gave, because these are spectral lines, or you can say these are the different energies which were absorbed, they were emitted back in the form of radiant energy, radiations. So scientist Balmer gave a formula to find out, just a minute. To find out wavelength of these spectral lines, because these are spectral lines, these are radiations which are emitted back, so they will also have some wavelength. So for finding out wavelength, or you can say wave number, because inverse of wavelength is wave number. So either to find wavelength 1 by lambda or wave number, the formula was given, that was equal to 109677 1 upon 2 square minus 1 upon n2 square centimeter inverse. What is the meaning of this formula? Because Balmer scientist has given, so this formula was he gave only to find out the wavelength of the spectral lines which were observed in visible region. Because Balmer series was present in visible, so in place of the N1 he has written 2, because it was in Balmer series the electrons after releasing energy was returning back to n is equal to 2. So he wrote here 1 by 2 square minus 1 by n2 square. This n2 may be anything greater than 2, because when the electron is returning to 2, it is coming from 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Okay, so this N2 may be anything out of these, but this N1 is going to remain 2 if it is for Balmer series or for visible region. And this value was a constant used here. 109677 was a constant which was given by Rydberg. So this constant is also known as Rydberg's constant. So now because this formula was not generalized and it was meant only for Balmer series, so later on Rydberg also gave the value of this constant, so he modified this formula also to 1 by lambda is equal to maybe this or this is equal to RH 1 upon n1 square minus 1 upon n2 square, where n2 is always greater than n1, and this RH is equal to 109677 centimeter inverse, because it is 1 upon lambda, that is why centimeter inverse, or you can write it as 1.1 into 10 to the power 5 centimeter inverse. Okay, 1.1 into 10 to the power 5 centimeter inverse, or 1.1 into 10 to the power 7 meter inverse. Because it is inverse, so it becomes 7. Okay. So this was about the formula which was given by first Balmer and then by Rydberg, where RH is a constant whose value is this much, to put in formula and to calculate the value of 1 by lambda or wave number, that is nu bar. Okay. Okay. Now, what this explained? This showed that energy is absorbed in the form of this spectra which we have seen for hydrogen atom. It explained us that the energy is absorbed in the form of packets, because it is you have seen that it is giving, when it is absorbing light and giving it back, it is giving back in the form of packets, not a continuous. That is why the spectrum which is obtained is also not continuous. Some lines are observed in the visible, then some in UV, some in IR region, and some are observed from jumping from higher levels to N1, higher to N2, higher to N3. So that means in form of packets it is coming. It is not continuous. Otherwise all the lines have been observed from higher level to only one level, not to the different levels which we have observed. This led to the beginning of the Bohr's model. Now, before we come to Bohr's model, we have to understand that why Rutherford model was a failure. So, in detail for Rutherford model we have not to go. Just to understand why Bohr model was needed, we have to understand this, because Rutherford model could not explain the stability of atom, and we know that atoms are stable. That means what is there, what that is making atoms stable? This stability was not explained by Rutherford, because he said the model of Rutherford was based on wave nature, and according to wave nature, if a nucleus is there, protons and neutrons in it, and electrons are moving around it, then if electrons or the radiations are showing wave nature, then when electrons are moving, accelerated, when it moves it gets accelerated, when it is moving and it is accelerated, it emits energy in the form of radiations. Every accelerated particle will emit some energy. When we also run, suppose we are running, then body will lose energy. Okay, so whenever any particle, any charged particle is moving, it will emit some energy. According to that, if it is regularly emitting energy, then a stage will come that its energy will become low and lower and lower, and finally its movement will become smaller and smaller, and finally it will just go and sink into the nucleus. This should happen according to Rutherford model, which was saying that these particles, the radiations are having wave nature, and if wave nature exists, then they should not be stable. They should finally sink into the nucleus because of constantly losing energy. Hence, it could not explain the stability of atom. Okay, second thing which was the drawback of Rutherford model was it could not explain the atomic spectrum of hydrogen, which we just now studied. That why these spectral lines are not continuous, why they are discontinuous. Some all falling in different regions of the spectrum. So these 2 points were there, because of which the model, that is the next model, Bohr model, came into existence. Okay. So now we come to the points of Bohr's model. First thing, Bohr's model is based on particle nature. Okay, though before Bohr's model we have studied wave nature was already existing for radiations. Before Bohr model we studied that along with wave nature, particle nature also exists for radiations. But the model which Bohr suggested was only based on particle nature. He did not incorporate both type of natures. Okay, that is why it could also not be as a final model. It was also rejected, and new model, that is the quantum mechanical model, is the last accepted model for structure of atom. So it was based on particle nature. What were the main points of Bohr's model? This we will discuss. The first point of Bohr's model was that electrons move around the nucleus in circular path. These are circular path of fixed radius and energy. This was the first important point, that electrons move around the nucleus in circular paths which are having fixed radius and energy. Okay, electrons, energy of electron does not change. In the Rutherford model, what was happening? Because electron was emitting radiation, because it was accelerated as a wave, hence its energy was losing. This model said that energy of electron does not change on its own. अपने आप ना, it on its own it is not changing. Then how it changes? Only when it absorbs energy or it emits energy, as we have seen in case of atomic spectra. So only when an electron will be given energy from outside, it will absorb energy and go to higher level, and it will emit it back and return back to its original level, ground state, excited state. So this was the point. Because these are having fixed radius and energy, then these were known as stationary states. These are known as stationary states or orbit. Okay, these orbits, because of having fixed energy and radius, are known as stationary states. That means the electron, the energy of the electron is actually the energy of this orbit. These orbits or stationary states are having fixed energy values, and that wherever electron is present, that energy that electron possesses. So that electron is not losing energy, not gaining energy on its own. Whatever energy is possessed by these orbits, that energy this electron is having, and when any extra energy falls on it, it absorbs that energy and jumps to the higher levels. And it will go to which level? It depends how much amount of energy it has absorbed. Okay, suppose it has absorbed 1 quantum of energy. So suppose energy of this is n is equal to 1. Its energy is n is equal to 2. So if it has absorbed only 1 quantum energy, then it will jump from 1 to 2. If the light has fallen, its energy is more, so it will jump from 1 to 5, depending on the energy which it has absorbed and which is coming to it. So this was the criteria for Bohr's model. Okay, this was very first point. Then according to it, when it absorbs energy, suppose the energy of the initial level was E1, and when the electron absorbs energy, it acquires energy E2. And when it will come back, then the change in energy will be E2 minus E1. When it returns back to its original ground state, it will have energy E2, it will emit radiation E2 minus E1. Clear? Next point. So there is a theoretical point in Bohr's model which Bohr could not explain afterwards also, but because it is a point, we have to discuss about it. He said that the angular momentum of the electron is equal to h upon 2 pi, integral multiple of h upon 2 pi. He gave this relationship in his postulates of Bohr's model, but he could not explain why he gave this. What does it mean? That only those energy orbitals, electron can be present in only those energy orbitals whose value is integral multiple whole number values of nh is equal to 2 pi. That means n is equal to 1, n is equal to 2, n is equal to 3. No n is equal to 2.5, no n is equal to 3.5 or so. That means integral values or whole number values will be present for energy levels. Because if we talk about the staircase, there can be step number 1, step number 2, step number 3. There cannot be a 1.5 step in a staircase. Just like that, energy levels will also be in whole number. To explain that thing, he said that the angular momentum of an electron is integral multiple of nh upon 2 pi. But the meaning of this point is this only, that only those energy levels are possible who have whole number values. This was second point. Third point of Bohr's model. The third point of Bohr model was that we said that these orbitals have fixed values of radius. These orbitals should not be used. These orbits have fixed radius. So what is that fixed value of radius? R is equal to 52.9 n square picometer. The radius, the fixed radius, that means what? N square, where n is the number of orbit. That means for first orbit the radius is 52.9, 1 square is 1 picometer. Radius will be fixed from nucleus to the first orbit's radius will be 52.9 picometer. Okay. Similarly, it will be, and this always remember, Bohr's model was for hydrogen atom and hydrogen-like species. This is the most important thing. For all atoms, you will not have the value of radius 52.9 picometer. Remember, this is only we are talking about hydrogen atom or hydrogen-like species. Hydrogen-like species means what? Those who have one electron in their orbits. For example, if I write He1 positive, this is a hydrogen-like species. Why? Because helium atomic number is 2. That means it has 2 electrons, helium, and 1 positive means it has lost 1 electron. So the number of electron left with helium is now only 1. So it is hydrogen-like. I can write lithium 2 positive. Lithium atomic number is 3. That means number of electrons are 3. So it is losing 2 electrons, so left is only 1. So for these also this is applicable, but basically it is for hydrogen atom. Because these species which I have discussed just now are not easy to form. He2 positive, Li2 positive are not easy species to be formed. But this may be applicable to those also. This we are saying. So radius of the first orbit of hydrogen atom is 52.9 picometer, and for other orbits we can calculate using n square value. Okay. Similarly, the value for energy also. Okay. The energy value for hydrogen atom is given by minus 2.18 into 10 to the power minus 18 n square in joules per atom. Again, this is for hydrogen atom first orbit. N square is the value of number of orbits which go on changing, or you can write this value as 1312 kilojoules per mole. The value of hydrogen atom energy in terms of joules per atom. You can differentiate between joules per atom and kilojoules per mole. It is for Avogadro number of atoms. This is for one atom. So either in terms of joules per atom it is minus 2.18. into 10 to the power minus 18 upon n square. In terms of kilojoules per mole, it is minus 1312 upon n square. So these were the values for hydrogen atom first orbit energy value. This. Okay.